Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy, my channel's Finding Value. We're going to go over gold and silver, do some technical analysis here. Today, do the daily update. I'm going to go over the dollar, 10-year yield, and then jump into the precious metals and then some ETFs and mining companies. So again, this is just my financial opinion. Do not take it as advice. It's not what it's meant for. And I am personally disclosing I am in these sectors. I'm heavily invested and I'm holding for the long term. I'm not short-term trading in and out, but we are looking to see what direction this stuff could be going. And if you find it in your strategy, I like to add on weakness on a pullback that looks like it's coming back into strength is where I like to add. So I don't add into weakness unless it's a physical precious metal. On the mining companies, I wait for it to bottom and start coming back up, and then I add money into it. So that's my strategy, at least. So here we go. This is gold and silver, technical analysis. I'm going to start with the dollar and gold. There's something I want to point out here. I've been watching this on a day-to-day basis with everyone on the channel. What we've been seeing is dollar weakness, gold strength. Today, we see dollar strength and gold strength. I like when things diverge like this. This is showing that gold is strengthening. That's a good thing. It's saying, I don't believe the move you have in the dollar. Now, we have an ascending wedge here on the dollar. It's coming on up, and we're squeezing on up, and it looks like it broke to the downside here. Let's see tomorrow if we break lower. It'd be nice to break lower, because then I think we'll see a nice, maybe good move in commodities in general, and possibly in precious metals. Possibly. Remember, this is probabilities in statistics, not outcomes. Everyone should know that. Here's the dollar on a little bit longer term view. This is a daily chart here. This is a monthly charts here. And we're coming up, and it looks like it is contracting in an ascending wedge. Do we have more time to move up? Maybe, maybe not. We're at 93.05. We're right here because this is 1 day delayed. If we get a nice shot lower tomorrow, we're breaking this trend line here in the dollar. And I think we're going to head lower if we get this break of this ascending wedge pattern. If it breaks lower. Remember, we have to wait and see what the market tells us. So if we break lower here, we also break this trend line here to the downside if it really breaks. That's one to watch, is the dollar tomorrow. We want to see it break down to 92.50 or something like that. It's a nice big move lower. The 10-year looks like someone's coming in, doing a little bit of buying. It looks like it wanted to take off, reverse a little bit. So people are buying treasuries and holding it flat here. Maybe some yield curve control, but it's right there at the trend line. These guys know it's at the trend line. Federal Reserve Bank is you guys. We've got some bullish engulfings here, which means that the yield wants to go higher. People are selling bonds. So we'll see what happens. Here's gold. Gold doesn't look too bad. I think this looks like a decent setup. It doesn't mean I'm going to be in here buying yet, because I'd still like to get above 1840 and close above it. But it looks good because we've got the downtrend line. We sold off, and we created this big hammer pattern, which is a reversal pattern. Came down, reversed higher and closed. We're coming back up with nice, healthy opening and closing prices on these up days. Boom, small down day. Boom, boom, small down days. Boom, smaller down day. It's lining up where the buyers are trying to break through this downtrend. I like this setup right in here of the previous days. And the way a stock moves matters. It's giving us signals that we can travel a good distance in a short period of time in these candlesticks. And the sellers haven't whomped us. They haven't come in here and smoked us yet, at least. Let's see what tomorrow brings us. I'm curious to see if gold breaks, because we've got the dollar setting up to move down on the daily, which could move us down on the monthly, which could move us up on the 10-year, which could move us up with gold potentially. But we have to see what the markets bring us. I'm not the market. Silver's still in a downtrend. We are we got a nice big bullish engulfing here. The sellers haven't totally blown us out to the downside. Are we reversing here? Let's see what tomorrow brings us. We very well could be putting in a little bottom here and going to attack this downtrend line. I'd like to see what the dollar does too tomorrow. I feel like we're at a critical point with the dollar. Platinum doesn't want anything to do with it right now. It's still in this downtrend. I put it at the tops of a lot of these areas where it was trading off of, and we're still in the downtrend. We got to muster it up, try to break into the upside. Dollar weakness is going to help platinum. Palladium, still very weak. We're heading on lower. Does look like we're trying to stage a little bit of a short-term bottom, where I think we'll head up, a couple days, and then we'll see what happens after that. But it's in a downtrend. This is the XAU to gold ratio, and what this is telling us is that the gold and silver index in relationship to gold, that's what a ratio is. It broke its downtrend. It broke the downtrend line, and we're in an uptrend now. And this could be a good spot to start looking at some of the gold and silver mining companies. We are, a low, a higher low, a higher low, a higher low, and we're right there kind of at this. And I'd like to see it turn back up. But it doesn't look bad. This is signaling that we broke the downtrend line, which is good, which means gold mining, the gold and silver miners will start to outperform gold itself. That's a good thing if you want to be in the mining companies. Here's GDX. This is an ETF. And we do have, a small contraction. So we had one large up day, 3 small down days within the up day. That usually means that we are setting up to potentially go higher in the short term. And remember, this is only short term and it's only statistical probabilities. It's not for sure outcomes. This is setting up the same way. Large up day, 2 little down days. I'd like to see the buyers step in here. If we get a weaker dollar and buyers step in, we could break some of these little downtrends that have been formed. EXK's signaling the same thing. Big up day, big kind of upward buying pressure, 2 small down days. Well, let's see what tomorrow brings us. Come on, buyers, step on in. Franco-Nevada, same thing. 3 small down days with this 1 up day. So boom, dun, dun, dun. And let's hope for the buyers. Wheaton Precious Metals, another royalty company, looking for buyers here. Let's see if they step in and push higher. So that's what we've got for gold and silver. I just kind of wanted to go over that. The dollar looks like we could potentially head lower tomorrow. So let's see if that basically comes about. I'd like to see a big move lower in the dollar. If we get that move lower, it's going to be a huge tailwind for our commodities. And that dollar weakness generally comes with an expansionary phase of real estate, which we're in. So I'm just waiting for that dollar to get weak. And then I think we'll see all this money start to rotate as dollar weakness will put pressure, which is inflationary, which puts pressure on interest rates. Interest rates going up is going to put pressure on bonds and stocks and money to sell out of that and rotate into precious metals and commodities. If you guys like this content, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.